some Saturday hauling to share with you guys today, and I'm just going to start off with a couple of repurchases. Pure Cosmetics was doing a 50% off their website, and lately I've really been enjoying the ease of just slapping on like a powder foundation, and this one has SPF 15 on top of that. So I went ahead and purchased 4 more of the Pure 4-in-1 Pressed Mineral Makeup SPF 15, and I use 2 shades. I use the shade Porcelain and Blush Medium. Lately I've been mixing Porcelain with a dash of Blush Medium for the highlight points of my face, and then for the rest of my face I mix a little bit of Porcelain with Blush Medium for the outer portions, because both of these 2 shades have more of a red undertone and I have pretty red toned skin. So I purchased 4 of those. I already cracked into another one of the Porcelain shades, and then I dusted off another bottle of the Prada Candy Kiss, so I went ahead and purchased another one of those. I actually used my Ulta points to get this, so it kind of didn't cost me anything. This is a pretty expensive perfume. This is like one of my favorite scents for the summer. I actually like to wear it anytime, but I wear it pretty heavily in the summertime. I know I just did an empties video, but believe it or not, I have like a whole nother bag of empties, so I should probably film that before it gets too excessive like the last one. Then I was in Ulta yesterday and I felt this brush and I just felt like it had to come home with me. And it's the Tarte Setting Super Power Powder Brush, and it's got a really unique like handle shape. It almost feels like when I hold it, I feel like it's like a magic wand. But it's a very airy feeling powder brush. It's not dense. It has a very airy feel to it. I almost purchased the setting powder that they had on the display with this, but I've kind of purchased quite a few setting powders recently, so I was like, I'll hold off on that. But just a super soft, airy brush that'd be really great for setting liquid foundation. It's a soft synthetic, so that's what I'll be using it for, is kind of setting a liquid foundation, but I just think it's super cute. Also at Ulta, they had this NYX Suede lipstick kind of display with some lip liners and lipsticks. And I went ahead and purchased one of the lipsticks because I wasn't quite sure. It has a suede matte-ish type finish. I wasn't sure how comfortable it would be on the lips. So I just bought one of those for now. And then the swatches of the lip liners felt really nice and I liked the shade. So I purchased 3 of those. And I'm actually wearing a combination of the lip liner in the shade, this is called Brunch Me, with the NYX Suede matte lipstick in Dainty Daze. That's the lip combo that I have on my lips today, and I really like it. I almost wish I would have purchased a few more of the lipsticks and the liners. I've been so stuck on my Charlotte Tilbury lip pencils that I haven't ventured into trying some new lip pencils lately, but I'm really impressed with these new NYX ones. So here is the Suede matte lipstick right here in Dainty Daze. Very comfortable on the lips for being like a matte type of lipstick. I haven't had any dryness. This is the Dainty Daze lipstick. Very pretty. There was 2 other shades. I wish I would have purchased them. They were buy one, get one 50% off too. But the lip liner that I've got it on with is, again, this is the shade Brunch Me. So that is the combo I have on today. I take that back. I have got the Free Spirit lip liner on with the Dainty Daze lipstick. That's the combo that I have on. Not this one right here. I've got these 2 on my lips right now. But I really like the combination for sure. So this liner is Brunch Me and this one is Free Spirit. And then that lipstick is Dainty Daze. And then the other one, I am such a sucker for a purple pink. And this one here kind of had enough depth to it where I think it's going to look really pretty with like MAC Snob or something. So this was in the shade Violet Smoke. Each of these lip liners like had a lipstick to pair it with. But sometimes I like to pair a little bit different shade of lipstick with a lip liner. But isn't that a pretty color? So that is in the shade Violet Smoke. Also from Ulta, I purchased the Makeup Revolution London Skin Kiss Dream Kiss highlighter, and there is 0.49 ounces of product in here, so it's a ton. Just these really pretty pastel-y colors were just like jumped out at me. And I've actually worn this quite a few times, and it looks really pretty on the skin. Kind of reminds me of some of the ABH highlighter palettes that have come out recently, like that Dream one. But isn't that pretty? It shifts, you know, you can concentrate your brush on certain parts if you wanted a little bit more of a mint color and stuff. Each time I've used it, I've just kind of mixed the shades together. But you can definitely concentrate your brush on certain parts of it. And it was really inexpensive. I think it was $7 or $8. And you get a ton of product. Then I saw these eyelashes and they really reminded me of the House of Lashes Iconics. They had that feel to them, so I thought I'd go ahead and give them a try. And they're by Melissa Michelle and Ulta Beauty. It's a collaboration. I love Melissa Michelle is also a YouTuber. That is her photograph on the back. They're not in the packaging because I actually have them on my eyes today. And these were $7 and it's an Ulta Beauty brand. They only had 2 on the shelf, but a lot of the times Ulta Beauty has like buy 2 get 2 free. And I really like the lashes. The band is really flexible and it gives a nice wispy kind of like pulled out cat eye look with the lash, and I really like them. So I'm gonna kind of see if maybe online or something I can't get a couple more of these, and maybe they'll be having a sale. Individually it was $7 for the lashes, which compared to a lot of other brands isn't too bad. They are like a synthetic type of a fiber lash. I cut off like 2 chunks on the outer corner, but they were super easy to put on because that band again is so flexible and they just kind of curved right on my eyes. So I really like these. And then these next products are kind of a compilation of a few Sephora orders online, and then also I purchased a few things in the store yesterday, one of which is the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder, and I got the translucent version. I've seen that recently they've come out with 2 other shades, like a medium and a dark, which is great. This for me, I set the concealer underneath my eyes today, and it did give a nice finish and stuff, but I did feel like it does pull a little yellow on my skin for being a translucent powder. That being said, it does have a pretty nice finish to it. So it's my first chance trying it. I've wanted to purchase it, and I almost purchased it several times, and finally I just bit the bullet and I was like, just get it. There's 0.56 ounces of product in here, so there's quite a bit, and I really like the packaging because you can close off the top so powder doesn't get everywhere. It just, the lid props up like that. So that's a nice touch. This next one is also a powder, and it's from the brand Pretty Vulgar. It's a new launch for them, and their packaging just sucks me in. And I saw how pretty it looked and I was like, I need to have that. Plus for some reason I've really been into trying different loose powders for setting both foundation and underneath the eyes, so I thought I might as well give it a shot. The packaging is a hard plastic with the prettiest design on the front. I just think it's just pretty. There's 25 grams of product in here, or 0.88 ounces, so you're getting a load of product inside this guy. It does come with a little poof that you can put in there to kind of hold the powder down, but I typically just put it out. This one doesn't have a cover on the container to kind of hold the powder in. There is the powder. This one does have a little bit of a yellow tint to it as well, but it's very silky smooth. I set a YSL concealer yesterday with it, which I'll get to that in a minute, but it's set really nicely, I felt, and I think the concealer was at fault for what had transpired later, but it's a really pretty smooth powder. Ton of product, beautiful packaging. So yesterday I used that powder to set the YSL All Hours Concealer, which is a new concealer from YSL, and I got the shade 0.5 Vanilla, which is the lightest shade in the range. And that combination, that Pretty Vulgar, like I said, has a hint of a little bit yellow, just kind of like the Too Faced. But this being the lightest shade, it's too dark. It kind of casted a darker shadow underneath my eyes, and it's the lightest color. The formula does feel nice, but one of the biggest things, and again, I don't know whether to blame the concealer or the powder. Typically it's the concealer's fault when this type of thing happens to me, but my mascara and my liner had transferred like all up on my little eye rolls like right away, probably 3 hours in. It's got a really slick feel, this concealer, a lot of silicones in it. So like dimethicone is the 3rd ingredient in the concealer, so quite a few silicones in there. So this is the 0.5 shade, so it's the lightest shade in the range, and it really has a really, really nice feel to it. But again, I'm going to try it again tomorrow with like the RMS setting powder. Is it RMS? No, it's not. It's not RMS, is it? The RCMA. The RCMA powder, which does give it a bit of brightness and has a nice set to it. I'm going to give it one more shot because it does have more brightness to it, to see if this, for one, doesn't make my eyeliner and mascara transfer, and for 2, if it brightens it up a little bit, because the concealer feels really nice. I just had those 2 issues when I wore it the first time, so... And then I was watching Puffin's Wife here on YouTube, and she had showed this Glam Glow Powder Hyaluronic Acid Infused Glow Palette. It is a highlighter palette from the brand Glam Glow, which typically sticks to like skincare type stuff. and it just looks so pretty on her cheeks, so I went ahead and purchased it. I'm not nuts about the packaging. I think it's kind of big and bulky. However, the thick rubber feeling probably will make it safe for travel. And inside you have got 3 highlighters. Each one is 5 grams. I've been wearing, when I have worn this, I've kind of stuck mostly with the lightest shade and dipped into a little bit of the center shade. And I'm getting hard pan on the product already. I've been trying to use a stiffer brush. Once I get it on the cheeks, however, it does have a really pretty sheen. But if you're looking for that really intense highlighter, I don't feel like these give quite the intensity that some of the highlighters out there give nowadays. But it's still quite shiny. It has a pretty finish on the skin. So let's swatch them for you. And these are a powder, a more standard powder highlighter. And you can kind of feel that it's got some hydration to it. So those are the 3 shades. I can get away with using the middle shade if I mix a bit of the white shade in with it. This guy right here, maybe an eyeshadow for me, but they do have like a slightly sweet smell to them, these powders do, which is quite interesting. And then more loose powders. I went ahead and purchased the other shade of the Ilia Radiant Translucent Powder in Waikiki Run. This has got SPF 20 in it. I like to set the Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation with that powder when I'm going to be outside like all day, kind of like when the sun's real high and strong, like at a horse event or something like that. So what I had found is when I set the Bare Minerals Bare Pro, I've been enjoying kind of a deeper foundation on my skin. And when I set it with the Magic Sands shade, which is the lighter version of the 2 that are available, it kind of it lightened up that foundation quite a bit. So I figured I'd give Waikiki Run a try, which is very dark for my skin tone. So what I do is mix a little bit of Waikiki in with the Magic Sands powder to set. I really like this powder. The one thing is I have to use quite a bit of it to get the foundation to set, and there's only 0.24 ounces of product in there. So I'm going to go through them really quickly, especially if I were to use them every day. Like, you compare it to like the Pretty Vulgar powder, there's 0.88 ounces of product in there, or 25 grams. This has only got 7 grams in each of them, and it's pretty expensive, but I like that SPF 20. So here is the lighter version, and then here's the darker version of that powder. I don't know if it'll show up on the skin. Yeah, there it does. So those are the 2 shades of that powder. Then with my lighter hair, I thought I would go ahead and try a lighter shade of brow powder. So I purchased the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Powder Duo in the shade Blonde. I have used the shade Taupe for a very long time, but I thought I'd give this a whirl. At first I thought it was kind of looked too light in the pan, but it does appear darker once you put it on. So I've got this on today with the Milk Makeup Kush Brow Gel in the shade Haze, which I'm obsessed with, and I just really love the combination for my brows. So I'll just go ahead and swatch for you. There are 2 shades in here. One's a little bit deeper, but they appear pretty similar in the camera there. So there's the colors. So that's the ABH Brow Powder in Blonde. Then I was browsing the Sephora brand makeup and I saw this little concealer. It's called Make No Mistake High Coverage Concealer, and it comes in a tube. And I had swatched it and it kind of reminded me of something like the Bye Bye Under Eye from It, which that's an okay concealer, but it's a little bit too thick. This one's it's emollient and kind of has that type of vibe. But I put it on today. I got the shade number 3 Poppy because it had a pink undertone. I kind of wish that I would have purchased a lighter shade, but I have it on today and set it with that Too Faced translucent powder. And I wasn't sure what to expect because it does have a nice emollient properties, and I have dry under eyes, but I have no creasing like at all. There's nothing going up into my fine lines or anything, and I've been wearing this makeup for about 5 hours, so I'm pretty impressed with that fact. Maybe it's a combination of the Too Faced powder and this concealer, but usually when I'd use something like the Bye Bye Under Eye from It, I always got creasing into my little eye rolls. So I'm kind of excited about it. It was only $14 and you get a load of product in here. So next time I'm in Sephora, I might grab a lighter shade of it. So I did purchase number 3 Poppy in the range. Let me give a little pearl on here and show it to you guys. So this is the one in Poppy. And it's got great coverage. It was easy to blend. I used like a little beauty blender. Then I had gone back and forth about this blush so many times. I'd swatched it and I'd had it in my cart and I just went back and forth. And finally I purchased it when I was in Ulta. It was one of the items I added to with my Prada perfume and used my points on. It's the Benefit Gold Rush. It's a warm golden nectar blush. It does have an overspray of like gold over it. Once you get using it, it goes away. And I'm obsessed with the California blush, which is also a baked jelly texture, as is this one. It's one of my top 5 all-time favorite blushes, the California by Benefit. This has got a really strong perfumey smell to it. It almost smells like, I think it reminds me of Beach Walk by Maison Margiela Replica. It's a replica fragrance. That's kind of what it reminds me of. The first time I wore this, I thought it was okay. The second and third time and stuff, I really had a hard time getting it to show up on my cheeks. I tried to put it on today and it just blended into my skin with me wearing a little bit deeper foundation color nowadays. If I went my true natural pale self, I bet it would show up. The texture is really pretty, but I just didn't have no oomph to it. So I actually went over it with a Clinique Pop blusher, but it's just not showing up on my skin. I'm going to try to swatch it for you guys here. If you're really, really pale looking for a nude peach, give this a try, because again, the texture is really pretty. I'm kind of iffy on whether or not to keep it. Maybe in the winter time, I might get used to wanting to wear my lighter pale skin again. But I've really been enjoying the color in my face. It's a pretty color, but like when I put it on today, there was just nothing there. At Walmart, I purchased 3 more of the Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzers in Reserve Your Cabana. I use these to set the sunscreen down my neck. It just kind of, for one, it sets the mineral sunscreen that I use on my neck so that it doesn't move around when I'm outside sweating and doing whatnot. It kind of holds it in place. And then 2, it kind of meshes my face and my neck together. Since there's makeup on my face, I like the fact that it kind of gives a little bit of a polished look to my neck as well. So you guys have heard me talk about this forever. And then I saw these new products also from the Sephora line, and it's the Sephora Rouge Melting Lip Clicks, and I got the shade number 5 Peach Sorbet. So it's almost like a gloss in a tube form, and I had seen the Marc Jacobs versions of those. I swatched a couple of them, but I wasn't crazy about the colors, and they were quite a bit more expensive than this guy. So I went with this one, and these are cool. It's kind of like a legitimate gloss in a stick. So the shade I got again is number 5 Peach Sorbet, and it's super shiny. Super shiny, like gloss stick. I also purchased some of the new Colourpop palettes, and I got one of their face duos. This is the Step Right Up face duo. There are 2 shades in here, Spectacle and Dreamscape. Comes in like a hard plastic packaging. The highlighter is light enough for my skin tone and it looks really pretty on the cheeks. And then I was able to buff this out, like kind of diffuse it for a bronzy look, or concentrate it with a little bit more dense brush to get a contour. So I kind of feel like the powder is versatile. This is a matte, and then that is a shimmer shade. But and these are removable too, which is always a nice touch when it comes to makeup products. I love when companies take into consideration to remove them if you want to use a magnetic palette and stuff. But these are like the perfect shades for me. I was so excited about it. So that one is in Step Right Up, and I think there are 3 versions of this if I'm not mistaken. I also got their 2 new eyeshadow palettes. One is called Soul and one is called Mar, and they come in a hard plastic packaging like that. Each one has 9 eyeshadows that are 0.04 ounces per shade, which is actually a pretty decent amount for like the smaller pan size. Again, these are removable. There's a pretty large size mirror inside of there, and it's a hard plastic packaging as well, as opposed to their normal cardboard packaging. But I wore this palette, I've worn it quite a few times so far, and this is just the prettiest summer palette. It gives a real like tangerine bright eye, and then I paired it with kind of a similar bright peachy coral lip, and I was just, oh, I should have wore it today. It was so pretty. And I still really feel like you can't beat Colourpop's price and quality of their shadows. They're really, really good and really affordable. The only thing about this guy is I do wish that there was a matte brow bone highlight in here, so I did incorporate, I believe it was Burberry's Trench when I did use it. We've got 4 mattes, which are these 2 in the corner, and then these bottom 2 right here, and everything else, the other 2, 4, 5 are shimmer. Let's swatch them. I just ordered the new Kathleen Lights. I ordered a lipstick and then the palette from there as well. So I can't wait to get that. Wasn't that pretty? So pretty. This is the color that I put on my lid and it was just popping, man. So pretty. I think I swatched the wrong color. So these bottom three are the last ones to swatch. Whoops. You're going to see 10 swatches instead of 9. Because I accidentally did that one twice. Aren't those pretty though? My goodness. So that is the Soul palette from Colourpop, S-O-L. And then here is the Mar palette. And I love this one as well. Same thing with this guy. I had to incorporate a matte brow bone highlight shade because there isn't one in here either. There are 3 mattes in this guy, which is the blue, and then these 2 right here. Everything else has shimmer in it, but this is a really pretty guy as well. Look at that blue though, man. And then these next 3. This color, oh, there's so many pretty shades in here. My favorite color in here is this one right here. That's the shade I packed on the lid. It's so pretty. And then these last 3. These are removable as well. I don't know if I said that already or not, but look at that green. It's so pretty. So that is the Mar palette. Super duper. So that's everything for my haul today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.